Seppi had a very close to an all-time career best win at Roland Garros. He lost to Novak Djokovic in 5 sets after leading 2 sets to love. So he can mix it with the best. Looking forward to this. Pretty gentle opening as they feel each other out. Have you noticed, Jeff, the speed of the court any different in the 2 night sessions we've seen so far?
No, I haven't. The conditions have been really good at night. There's temperature's very pleasant. Normally only when the conditions are very hot does the court speed up, and that's really only been, of course, during the day.
I'm
interested to see tonight if Granollers comes to the net as much as he did early in the tournament against Ebden. He seemed determined to come to the net at every opportunity. It seemed uncomfortable out there, but he kept on with that tactic. He was rewarded in the end.
Oh. 40-50. Game, Granollers.
Well, nice solid hold to open the Spaniards' account. A berth in the semi-final up for grabs tonight. If you talk about a lot of the players, and there's been some interesting articles written in the last few weeks, particularly Sam Stosur wrote how players between sort of 50 and 100 struggle to make a living. Andreas Seppi, he finished the year at 23, had the most wins he's ever had in his career with 38 in a season, which, when you put into perspective, David Ferrer had the most with 76 on tour, but his hard court record, 18-18, grass 4-4, and 16-5 on clay. So he had a winning season, only just. And finished 23 in the world. But Sam's point was well made in that unless you're sort of top 10, 15, 20 and been there for a while, you don't get the endorsements and you just don't get the prize money to make a significant living. So it's been interesting to look at these guys drift in and out from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50.
Bit of a backhand drill there.
15-30.
Yeah, but it's a good point. I mean, the expenses of the caravan of tennis players is very high. All the travel costs all the time, accommodation costs when you're out of the tournament, coaching costs if you're able to think about having a coach travel with you.
15-40.
That was the point that players were making to the Grand Slams as well, when they've been trying to encourage the Grand Slams to increase the prize money for first round losers. The Australian Open's done just that. I think it's been a good move.
Game, Granollers.
Well, an early break to the Spaniard. He leads it 2-love.
Granollers leads 2 games to love. Mr. Granollers is challenging the call on the left baseline. What was called in?
Seemed to me as if it skidded off the line.
Goal stands, love 15.
Hawkeye's become such a familiar and comfortable part of the game now, hasn't it? Seems a long time ago we didn't have it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we survived without it. It's been a wonderful innovation.
Let's first service.
Players totally accepting the accuracy of the technology.
$15 all. Mr. Granollers has 2 challenges remaining. $15-30.
Oh, outstanding.
$30 all.
Dangerous coming in on a cross-court approach, but he thought he'd wrong-footed Granollers there. Granollers at end range, though, coming up with a terrific passing shot.
$30-40.
I think already we can see that Seppi gets a little bit more speed off the court with his ground strokes. Doesn't hit with quite as much spin. He's keen to take the ball closer to the baseline, top of the bounce. So he's going to be the one who's going to look to push Granollers around.
Game, Seppi.
Well, after dropping serve, Seppi, he breaks back immediately. We're back on serve, 2-1 in the first.
Granollers leads 2 games to 1.
Okay, thank you.
He's unheralded.
Thank you.
It's so he's dull for Alaska. Who? Thank you. Jerry Armstrong. There's a friendly is coming.
Time. Sit quickly, please. Thank you.
It was a quick reply in regard to breaking back from Seppi. What wasn't quick, according to Jerry Armstrong at the change of ends, Jeff, was the time between serves from Marcel. Just a friendly warning from Jerry Armstrong as Marcel was going to his chair. You're a bit slow. Quicken it up or you'll get a warning.
And Granollers was appreciative. He acknowledged it with a thanks and was obviously going to endeavour to address that. Umpires really trying to be much stricter with the new rule this year. 25 seconds between points is the allocation in tour events in the men.
Well, historically, it's rarely been enforced, whereas the ruling now is not only is it 25 seconds, it's to be enforced every time rather than speak to them at the end of the match or next week in Florida or the week after in Cincinnati.
30 all.
Yeah, some of the umpires here this week and last week in Brisbane have been a little bit more officious in that regard than others, but they have been trying to let the players know that in general terms they mean business.
Oh, bad miss in the end. It's going to be interesting to see how it's enforced in really big moments. I mean, when you think back to the Nadal, Djokovic, the Murray Djokovic semi-final and finals at the Australian Open last year, after 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, you are going to feel like a martyr telling Novak to hurry it up and taking away a first serve.
Game, Seppi.
Nice hold from the Italian, 2 apiece.
2 games all. Love 15.
Just back to that time rule, Jeff. I mean, it's been brought in for really the viewer, not only inside the stadium but at home. So it's appreciated, no doubt, by all, but it's going to get tough at times, particularly.
I think it's just a matter of the players getting used to it, Hamish. You know, once you get into the rhythm of it, but initially it'll be difficult. Is it in?
Wide.
Oh, it's close.
15 all.
I was interested just to finish up on the timing. and the ruling, Andy Murray saying, I like it being enforced, I like the rule, I just want it to be 30.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment to when they've introduced a new rule to be strict, give the players just a little latitude. 30 seconds strict is better than 25 not strict.
15-30.
So Granollers got away to a good start, 2-love. But Seppi really has come back strongly. Opportunity here for another break of serve, perhaps.
Mr. Seppi challenging the call on the right baseline. Ball was called out. Ball stands 30. Thirty, 40. Mr. Seppi has 2 challenges remaining.
This is where Seppi is dangerous. He really can hit through the court better than Granollers. And on this medium to quick surface, he's going to give himself plenty of opportunities to sneak forward into the net off some penetrating ground strokes.
Net first service. Deuce.
That's the Granollers' favourite serve to the second court, that slider down the centre. It's his favourite serve, full stop, the one that he just hits a little bit from right to left, curls the ball away to the right-hander's forehand.
Advantage, Seppi.
Certainly effective, the Spaniards' game. There's nothing too much classical about it.
No, there's not. Doesn't mind as long as he gets to go to the bank every week.
Well, the break point held off for the moment. He's been to the bank a few times, 4.2 roughly in earnings since 2003. I'm not sure whether he takes the checks himself down to the bank, but I'm sure he's clicking on the internet and just making sure it's been deposited.
I think so. 4.2 will give him a bed to sleep in on a regular basis. Interesting how he gets the hand over the end of the butt on the racket to serve.
Advantage, Granollers.
That gives him a little bit more reach and a little bit more leverage. It's not totally uncommon. The great Bjorn Borg used to serve like that.
Game, Granollers.
So hold 3-2, still on serve, early going first set.
Granollers leads 3 games to 2. Time.
This is the Granollers serve. Starts on the back foot. Doesn't get a lot of knee bend. That's about the only area of the serve that probably could be better. The rest of it is quite effective. But as we said, he tends to hit around the right-hand side of the ball most of the time.
It's interesting you're talking about Marcel's grip on the serve, holding it over the end of the handle and just getting another sort of inch or so in regard to leverage. Marcel has a look, but doesn't challenge. And you mentioned his knees and the lack of bend. He could probably get another 3 inches by launching.
Yeah, not a lot of leg drive at all.
40 low.
Certainly compared even with Seppi. He's got quite a deep knee bend on his serve.
Game, Seppi.
Well, an easy hold in the end for the Italian. Levels things up.
3 games all.
Watched the women's semis today, Jeff. I know you were watching on, and interesting, Glenn Munsey's just shot through a text. Agnieszka Radwanska, the #1 seed, $1.30. Subulkova, $3.35. It seems a fair chasm between two girls, two ladies who have been playing terrific tennis all week, particularly Dominica. She's dispatched seeds throughout.
Certainly Radwanska's got the pedigree and the ranking, but Subulkova, she's afraid of no one, and she's been really upbeat and hitting the ball pretty well. It sounds like a bit of disparity there, as you said, in the offerings.
That match, 7:30 tomorrow night here. Nice start to the season so far for Agnieszka Radwanska. Hasn't lost since commencing in Auckland.
Right, the ball's good. Replay the ball. First service.
Even though Seppi knows that serve is going to slide to the forehand, it skids, it stays low, so it's not as easy to hit because it does shoot through, and you've got to get under the ball, get it up over the net and back down again.
Let's first service.
Well, the Spaniard got there with plenty of time. Still on serve 4-3.
Ball change, please. New balls. Granollers leads 4 games to 3. Time. Fifteen love. Thirty love.
I
40 love. Game, Seppi.
A nice hold for Seppi. Again, he levels things up.
4 games all.
sort of service game you like, very quick.
Love 15.
Just feel like Seppi will ultimately get the better of these ground stroke exchanges. Technically, probably a little bit better.
$15 all. $30-15. $30 all.
Gee, that's good stuff.
40-30.
These guys moving across the court very well. This is a terrific backhand and moves forward to get an excellent position for that volley inside the service line. Coach Fernando Vicente there, coach of Granollers, very pleased with his charge.
Deuce.
Interesting to hear Bernard, Jeff, in the press conference post-win. He'll play the winner, obviously, of this match. You've got to keep remembering he's still just 20. Seemingly been around for so long. Great passing shot from Seppi, terrific.
Advantage, Seppi.
Yeah, this was a good pass. The approach was pretty good. Pretty deep, just probably a little bit too much width. If you come in, you want a little bit more up the middle to cut out those angled opportunities.
Great opportunity now for Seppi. Sees a second serve, a rare break point.
Oh, excellent.
Deuce.
He's been good all week, Jeff. When the chips are down, Marcel, he's able to find lines and he's seemingly happy to pull the trigger anytime.
Yeah, he did very well to get out of his first round match against Ebden, as we said, and seems to have become more confident as the tournament's moved onwards. But the confidence there on break point to go for that big winner down the line. Hit it beautifully.
Advantage, Seppi.
The little moments, aren't they? I mean, you think that Andreas Seppi's been on the tour since 2002. He's only ever won 3 tournaments, 2 of those last year. Take a break point here, serve out a set, and suddenly you're just a set away from a semi. Just went for a little much. I think he was almost berating himself for not going down the line.
Yeah, I mean, the opportunity was there. Probably got a little lazy with his feet. Didn't quite get behind the ball to step into it. Just reached a fraction.
Advantage, Seppi.
I feel if he keeps giving himself opportunities, he'll get there, Seppi. This is his sixth break point opportunity of the set, and he's only been able to convert once. And he is just barely holding on. It's a big game for all.
Let's second service. Game Seppi.
Well, disappointing way to lose his serve. Andreas Seppi will come back out at the moment, serve for the first set.
Seppi leads 5 games to 4. Time.
Welcome back to the second semi-final here at the Apia International Sydney. Bernard Tomic won the first quarter-final. This to go through to play Bernard in the semi-final. I think he's got my women's semis and men's quarters completely mixed up, and I'm thinking ahead tomorrow
15
when Bernard will play the winner of this in the semi-final. Julien Beneteau and Kevin Anderson have both gone through today, winning their quarterfinals. They'll play in the other semi-final.
Might be
Mr.
worth
Seppi
a look.
challenging the call on the left far sideline. Ball is called out.
Both got a couple of challenges still in the bank.
Marcel looks anxious.
Yeah, this is close.
I think he thinks okay.
Yep.
Ball overturned. 30 love. Love.
Well, these set points have come quite quickly.
Game. And
nice way to finish the set. The Italian leads 1 set to love. He takes the first 6-4.
By 6 games to 4. Time. Second set, Granollers to serve.
Hope you've been enjoying the summer of tennis at home. Tonight's night session here in Sydney has already seen Bernard Tomic go through to the semi-final. He'll play the winner here out of Marcel Granollers and Andreas Seppi. Seppi winning the first set 6-4. And Jeff, I ask you, does Andreas Seppi wearing the white feeler cap and side profile remind you of an Australian playing about 15 to 20 years ago?
Well, that's a good profile shot there. If you're thinking of the same fellow, he came from, I think, Narrabri, New South Wales.
That's him.
And of Jason Stoltenberg, who works these days with Ashley Barty, very promising young female Australian player.
I grew up idolising all of that crew, and just every now and again you see a side-on shot and it's uncanny. I just got a text from Todd asking whether I idolised him. It'd be fair to say he was in my top 10 Australians.
I'll ask you who was #1 in a moment. You'll have to give that some thought.
Game, Granollers.
First game of the second, and the Spaniard holds.
First game, second.
It was a tight first set. Wasn't a lot in it at all. Just Seppi able to make a little bit more headway on the Granollers serve. Seppi's second serve in particular wasn't strong enough, and that was an example there of how Seppi was able to take advantage of that, get on top of the point. This forehand down the line brought him plenty of opportunities as well. Good quality first set.
First set, Seppi.
First set, Granollers only won 39% of points when his on his second serve, sorry. And Seppi won 56. So Seppi's got more variety on the second serve. He can hit with top spin, slice, whereas Granollers is just, it's really constantly a slice, so it becomes a little bit more predictable.
40 love.
Pretty neat and tidy, the Seppi game, isn't it?
I think that's a good analogy. Neat and tidy, yeah, it's no frills, technically sound. Well, that last forehand of Seppi's a shot. Did you happy to go for it 40 love up, because it's high risk. Once you get wide of that doubles alley and you're behind the baseline, you're asking for trouble. This is the footwork of Granollers, always bouncing.
Game Seppi.
Comfortable hold in the end. All square.
1 game on. The 15 love.
Granollers clearly working a lot harder to hold serve than Seppi.
Tells a real story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That.
Mm-hmm.
When you see that statistic where it's 5 minutes for Marcel to hold, a minute and change for Seppi, makes you realise how different life on tour is for a guy like Milos Raonic, where he can just thump, thump, thump and then worry about the returning. And in reality, just try and break once a set and take care of his own house off the serve. And then you think about Leighton Hewitt, who's just been such an extraordinary returner all his life on the basis that he had to, because he never owned that weapon off his serve.
Yeah, Raonic and Isner serving 1,000 aces a year.
A lot of cheap points in games and
surely
sets.
Is. He's missed it, but it's a good strategy. Again, and harping on it, it's the Granollers' second serve that is just a problem for him. Seppi knows where it's going and he's able to set himself for the return.
$14-30. Deuce.
We were mentioning John Isner just moments ago. Disappointing that he's had to withdraw from the Australian Open. His knee's giving him trouble. He was hobbling away against his fellow countryman Ryan Harrison yesterday and got beaten 4-4. He's now out of the Open. You talk about aces. He served 113 aces in that match against Mahu in one match. Extraordinary number. And just to put Isner to bed completely, of 113 aces, 85 of them were served in the fifth set. But having said that, the fifth set did go for 8 hours and 11 minutes.
70-68, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, it can't ever be repeated.
No,
someone,
surely not.
Someone gets together with their opponent and says, let's break a record this week.
Game, Granollers.
Well, good hold in the end. 2-1 the Spaniard on serve in the second. The Italian won the first.
Granollers leads 2-1. Time.
It's been a good day for Australian tennis. Leighton Hewitt, he won through to the final at Kooyong. Bernard Tomic won through to the semi-final just an hour or so ago. And that Beatle seems to be having a pretty nice night too. Welcome to Sydney. Tennis tomorrow again from Kooyong. Semi-final between Juan Martin Del Potro and Marcos Baghdatis to see who plays Leighton in the final. And then tomorrow night, the women's final between Agnieszka Radwanska and Dominika Cibulkova. I know you've spent a lot of time with Bernard. Was tonight, maybe not so much, but the last week, as good a ball as you've seen him hit for a while? Let's go back to January last year, perhaps, or even Wimbledon beforehand, but consistently over a period of matches?
Certainly the most aggressive he's been, which is great to see, serving bigger. And certainly playing with more maturity, fewer of the little dinky shots.
The toy shots are gone a bit, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
A couple every now and again come out of the bag.
And that's fine. I mean, you know, he's got to be his own person. He's got to be a little unique, but at this level, you can't play them too often. He's eliminated a lot of it from his game, and he's playing exceptionally well. We just saw Granollers the game before again in a long, drawn-out affair which he held, and here now, as we've seen earlier, Seppi, it seems, with a very quick hold, and that's been the pattern of the match thus far.
Seppi.
Well, Granollers got there, but Seppi was able to get to the response, and he holds two apiece.
Love. All.
Terrific slap in the end from Marcel. He's done that a couple of times, Jeff, at full stretch, being able to use a very short backswing and take it across court.
It's an outstanding shot, as you said. If he's got to keep coming out with these sort of shots to hold serve, something's got to give. It's a fabulous shot, but unlikely to keep making it time and time again.
30 all.
Takes this ball right on the top of the bounce here, Seppi, and unleashes. It's quick. 150 km/h ground stroke.
(40-30). Game, Granollers.
Well, a grind, but a hold. 3-2 the Spaniard on serve in the second.
Granollers leads 3-2. Time.
Welcome back to this quarterfinal match between Andreas Seppi on your screen, who's taken the first set against Marcel Granollers, and it's on serve here in the second.
15 love.
Must have been pleased, Jeff, when you heard the result from Melbourne today. Leighton Hewitt, injury-free, no injections, as he has been having just to go on. Play with his kids, let alone head out onto the practice court. I don't think
30 love.
too many of us were aware of the length he was going just to hit a ball, let alone be competitive.
Yeah, and it's no joy going out to do anything when you're in pain, and no matter how much he enjoys tennis, if he's going out there in pain, it's no joy. Now he's pain-free. Clearly, he's loving it and playing well.
40 love.
There's been plenty of career vultures circling for the last few years. Too old, too injured. To beat Tomas Berdych 3-2, I think it was today, and yesterday was Milos Raonic in 3. Write him off at your own peril again. 31 years of age and loves to compete, and again, I don't think there's anyone that's going to want to run into Leighton.
Game, Seppi.
Well, Seppi again holds comfortably to love.
New balls.
Two very, very different
3
scenarios
games.
right now. That game duration, 90 seconds.
Yeah, it's been typical of how things have gone, but, you know, Granollers is not going away. He's only had one break opportunity in the match, and he took it. By comparison, Seppi's had 6. And he's won 2. But every game, it seems that Granollers has been at 30 all. He's been at deuce. Can't get an easy hold, but as long as he's holding, he's alive, he's a chance.
Faults. 15 love.
And the longer Granollers keeps holding, Seppi knows he's had a lot of chances. He's been close, he's been a juice, and it just starts to play in your mind after a while, thinking, well, am I ever going to get this done?
Let's first service. Fifteen all.
Good players, even the two-handed players, have all developed really good one-handed slice backhands to defend with and change the pace, change the spin. Both of these fellows equally adept at that part of the game. Oh, that might be worth a challenge. That's very close.
I think Jason Stoltenberg said, I'm just checking.
Yeah, it was. I guess it was on the line closest to the umpire, Jerry Armstrong, as well, and he didn't seem to be interested, but it seemed close in the air.
40-15.
Good change up there from Granollers. Hasn't served and volleyed much at the last moment. Seppi saw him coming, had to change his mind, made a mess of it.
Game Granollers.
Well, that's an easier hold for Marcel, 4-3 second set.
Granollers leads 4-3. Time.
That man on screen took the first set 6-4, and he's been holding serve pretty comfortably, averaging a hold in under 2 minutes. Conversely, Marcel Granollers 5 minutes and change. Let's see what happens here.
$15 love.
That's been one of his winning plays tonight. Down the line to the Granollers forehand, who normally goes cross court, and then Seppi moves diagonally across and forward, hits it down the line, comes forward.
40 love.
Can't argue with Granollers' endeavour tonight, changing things up. He hasn't been breaking serves, so he's tried something different here. Second serve hit and come in, and this ball from Seppi just flicking the tape, make it almost impossible for the Spaniard to volley.
Let first service.
He's certainly been full of endeavour, Granollers. He's trying lots of different things. He's still very much alive.
Game Seppi.
Another love hold, 4s in the second.
4 games all. Love 15.
Thanks, Todd. Here's an interesting graphic, Jeff. Points played on serve, roughly half on the Seppi serve to what Marcel has to do to hold his, 64 to 36. And also the points seemingly longer on the Granollers serve.
Let's. First service.
Well, one of the better points of the match.
Love 30.
Certainly, Granollers is having to work very hard in this match, coming out second best on that 23-shot rally. Nothing wrong with his fitness, showing no signs of weakening despite the extra workload that has been thrust upon him. He's had a terrific temperament in this match, Granollers. He's been so far behind the 8 ball on so many games, but his body language has stayed positive, confident, and he keeps digging himself out of these holes. Love 30 to 30 all.
(40-30). Deuce. Advantage, Granollers. Deuce.
Be pretty pleased to be the Spanish Davis Cup captain, wouldn't you, Jeff? Marcel has finished 2012 at 34 and he's the 5th ranked Spaniard.
Oh, he's made it, I think.
Advantage, Granollers.
No, he hasn't. It's called out.
Seppi challenging the call on the left near sideline. Ball's called out.
I think Jerry sort of looks as though he would have overruled it because he's sitting on the line. I'm going with Jerry wide. I think Jerry nodded and sort of shook his head and said wide. He challenged anyway, and Jerry said, "Don't overrule me. I'm sitting on the line."
Don't be silly, he says.
I've been here forever.
Game, Granollers.
Another grind, another hold. 5-4 on serve in the second.
Granollers leads 5 games to 4. Time.
Welcome back to Ken Rosewell Arena. The last game on the Spaniard serve, just over 6 minutes. Andreas Seppi has been more swift.
Love 15.
But he needs to hold right now to stay in this second set.
Yeah, when you're serving second at this stage, you can't afford to blink.
$15 all.
Oh.
30-15. $40-50. $40-30.
First double for the Italian for the match.
Yeah, the first serve percentage not especially good, but when they go in, he's winning almost 90% of the points. He's mixed it up well, got good variety.
terrific down the line. And that's the hold. 5-5 in the second.
5 games all.
Oh, terrific.
Love 15.
He was 2 feet behind the Sydney sign when he hit that jet.
Yeah. Wonderful timing, mobility.
He's turned up the heat a little in the last minute or so. Terrific forehand to finish his own service
Love
game.
30.
Hitting the ball well now.
Yeah, love 30 on Granollers' last service game. Couldn't get the job done, so he's back for more.
The dangerous times now.
Love 40.
Having said that, the Spaniard has been outstanding in fending off break points. Seppi's had 7, been able to win 2 of them. Big challenge now for Marcel Granollers.
Seppi.
So Seppi breaks, and he'll come back and try and serve his way into a semi-final.
Seppi leads 6 games to 5. Time.
Andreas Seppi stepping up to the line to try and serve his way into a semi against Tomic tomorrow. points of the match.
Super commitment from both players. It was a great reach, and Seppi's done well to get there.
Let's versus. Love. Game, center match, Seppi.
We had 3 match points up his sleeve. He only needed 1.
2 sets to love, 6-4, 7-5.
Good feeling between the players, Jeff, at the shake of hands, and Bernard Tomic knows his opponent, Andreas Seppi, through 4 and 5. Pretty neat and tidy, as we said. He was good on serve, and Marcel is not able, in the end, to serve and hold as comfortably as he would have liked.